Hello, beautiful and beloved ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And if you wonder about that interesting title, stick around to the end. I have a special message about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness happening right now for the entire planet. So, but first, before we talk about that, we're going to do a reaction to Dimash Qudaibergen Ikanaide. I don't know how to pronounce that, so comment if you know how to pronounce it. Ikanaide. Here we go. Oh my gosh, he's such a master of feeling the emotion and having it like within him, like living the emotion, isn't he? Oh my gosh, we got to go back a little bit. Hold on. Let's go back and hear that a little bit more. It's so beautiful, the transition there. we got to go back for that little part again. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. He just puts his whole heart and soul into it, you know? And and the sound is so beautiful. His voice is so gorgeous. My God, I never can believe how he does that. How he goes into those higher realms. Oh my goodness, that higher ranges. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. Just riveting. Isn't he just riveting? Holy cow. I mean, so masterful at singing, so masterful at engrossing himself in the song, in the meaning, in like being the role, being the character. And you know, if we talk about like fifth dimensional and all of that, it's like, why did we come here? Why did we go from the higher realms, being these higher dimensional, angelic, or ascended kinds of beings, to come here to the muck and the mire? Well, one of the big reasons is because we don't have that range of emotions. I mean, you have all the higher dimensional emotions, the love, the joy, the peace, but you don't have the sadness. You don't have the yearning that he just expressed there. You just don't have that. And that's a good thing in some ways, but we wanted to experience the full range of emotions. So we come here and we go through the muck and the mire and the suffering and the pain, and we are able to experience that. And he just brings it so powerfully there to us. I think the actor's job or the singer's job in some ways, to me, it occurs as a very holy thing. And I was an actress. I got my first degree in that. So when you immerse yourself in that, to allow others as well to feel what it is you're feeling, that is kind of a sacred thing. Some people don't think much of actors, but I beg to differ, because if you're talking about the ones, there's some that are not so nice, and I know that. But the ones who really invest themselves so you can get that emotion, that feeling, that understanding, it's a sacred thing, I think. So he just so powerfully does that. Oh my goodness. So now if we wanted to put that on my scale, that scale, I have 1 being very third dimensional fear, pain, sadness, anger, and 10 being very fifth dimensional joy, bliss, fun, play, ease, love, love, love. Like, this is so love. This is so much love, so powerful love. Now, there is that third dimensional attachment, which is that yearning thing, right? It's an attachment to it. And I think that happens because when we have that in the third dimensional, there's so much pain, so much harshness here in this third dimensional reality, that when we have something that feels like that higher thing, that love, that whatever, we want to glom onto it and put both arms around it and never let it go, because we don't know if we're ever going to get that again, right? So that's that kind of that longing, that yearning, that sadness when you're not with someone that you love or have loved. And that's kind of third dimensional, because in the higher realms, we know that there's so much love there. There's so much available. There's no way you could possibly be missing anybody for any reason. So that's the only thing that draws it back just a twinge, but it's still pretty darn high, this song. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to go pretty high on this. I'm going with a 9. Great job, Dimash. And it's not on how well he did it. If I had to go how well he did it on 1 to 10, I'd have to give him 20, right? But it's on how much it pulls us to that higher place. And this does pretty strongly. Oh my, whew. Okay, for my 5D, by the way, do you understand? Did you feel that, by the way? Did you feel that? I like to say on the cells of your body. Comment and tell me if you felt that upliftment. Just the way he sang it, just so beautiful, so uplifting to your body, even to your very body, right? Let me know if you felt that. But let's see, my message for today is, how are astrology and numerology related to this fifth dimensional shift? How are astrology and numerology related? Because I'm telling you, I used to not think much of astrology and numerology for many years. I didn't think badly of it, but I just thought, that's a kind of a froofy thing some people like to do and everything else. But I've learned a lot. And I've learned that from Saint Germain, by the way, from the 33 discourses I told you about in one of my other videos, that really astrology and numerology are good and they're interesting, but you don't need them. You don't need them for this fifth dimensional shift. They're not something you have to follow or do anything with in this fifth dimensional shift, right? They are related, but you don't have to do anything with them, because you're being here and experiencing the influx of the higher vibrational energy and the love that's all been flooding into our planet, and it's just shifting us. It's changing us. It's upgrading us. It's upgrading our very DNA, right? And activating that quote unquote junk DNA, which never was junk, but was just in dormancy. So that's going to happen no matter what. We don't have to follow a single thing or do another single thing. So that's good. That's comforting. But it is kind of interesting, because what I've learned through my years of this study of this fifth dimensional shift and some astrology and numerology and whatnot, a little bit, is that we ourselves have created these things. We ourselves, in other words, have created the meanings of when the stars go this way or that way. Our consciousness as a collective over many thousands and thousands of years, from it when it first started back by probably some tribal, shaman way back when, right? Began to create, what do the different alignments of the planet mean? And I'm going back way before the Greeks even, and all that, right? What do those alignments mean? And and in effect saying when this or that happens, it means this, and send this energy to the planet. So when they align a certain way, it's all about love, right? You know, you guys have probably seen this kind of thing. Or in another way, Mercury retrograde, you know, is messing with the technology. You know, there's a lot of arguments and stuff happening because of the way that that is lined up. So we ourselves, we kind of determined what that would mean. Now, there are definitely, for an assurity, beings that embody the various planets, whether we know it or not, whether we can see them or not. They might not be our kind of beings. They might not be third dimensional, but there are beings. So there was a kind of a knowledge and an understanding way back when we were more kind of in tune to our intuition of what some of these planets might embody naturally anyway, right? And then we kind of made up the meaning. And over years and years and centuries and thousands and thousands of years now, that astrology out there shows up like we said it would. So if it's a certain time of year and these things are aligned, or maybe it only happens every 30-something years or whatever, such and such energies are coming in. And then oftentimes you'll see on the earth that events are coinciding with that, even up to and including, when World War II began or when COVID hit. All of these things, if you know astrology and then you could see, those things happen at a time that was meaningful in terms of astrology. Same with numerology. Same thing people started doing many, who knows how long ago, when numbers started to be a thing, right? And then began to assign meaning to the various numbers. And their meaning was also tapped into intuition of how the mathematics of the universe works, right? How exactly numbers do sort of have a certain meaning, okay? So they were tapped into intuition on that and began to then assign more meaning to that, to say this, when these kinds of numbers come up, it means such and so forth. And, this is, you're compatible with this or that one, or not compatible or whatever, based on this and that of your numbers. What's your personal numbers? And then we began to, by the way, live into that. We began to, as souls, live into live into what we'd already created. So for an instance, if we wanted a certain personality type, we were going to go to learn certain kinds of things, and it would probably be this personality type. Then we specifically picked the day, the time, and what it would be astrologically, what it would be numerology. We picked that as a soul coming in. Okay, this kind of works for me. This kind of works for me. This is probably going to be my personality more or less if these kinds of things are happening and I've got these kinds of learnings. So we picked them. And that's why they match up. That's actually why they match up, because we had something to do with that. So how does this astrology and numerology and other kinds of things in that nature match up? Is because we can now look to it. The thing that we created, we can now look to it to understand more of what's going on, because it actually sort of is following this whole business that's occurring in our lives and also on the earth. So for instance, 2025, astrologically speaking, is supposed to be a pivotal year of immense change. And already we see it, right? We see it, don't we? Like immense change in the direction of the light, We see all of these workings for truth and for honesty in politics and everything else. We see some things are crumbling down, right? Because they don't work anymore, right? It doesn't work anymore to have an FBI or a CIA that weaponizes against its own citizens. That doesn't work. So some things are crumbling down. And all this is very natural for this 2025 year that we're in now. Listen, I don't claim to be a specialist or an expert in astrology or numerology. So those of you who are can go in and give your comments and let us know more, because I just know kind of like a base, a base of it, a baseline, we'll put it that way, very baseline. And I'm not an expert in that, but I do know it does apply. And I do know that it's something that we as a consciousness as a whole have created, and now we can work with. So, okay, beloved ones, that's my message for today. I'm sending you that fifth dimensional energy, the love, the joy, the peace, the bliss, the abundance coming at you now. Namaste. I honor the God in you.